Hey, this is Thunder in the spirit of Crazy Horse. Well, just an update here, people, and the update includes some things that I said exactly would happen. Not that I'm beating my own drum, but maybe I should. So the airstrikes continue. We're going to talk about that with Russia because that's a big deal. That's a big, big deal. As they hit all these ISIL targets and Free Syrian Army targets, oops, CIA there, let's take them out. Good for Putin. Good for Putin. And they're doing this with the most sophisticated aircraft, the most precise coordinates. I'm a pilot, I know. They're cleaning house, baby. And it feels good to me. And you know what? I just saw a thing on Sputnik News where all the comments from Americans and everybody else were like, "Go get 'em, boy! Let's clean house." Everybody's glad to see, since all they hear about is acts of terrorism, and to be afraid, and ISIL and this and that, just bombarded for years. It's a no-brainer that they would like seeing Russia go in there. And again, a brilliant move by Russia. Saw an opening. How can we really help people and shore up our position in the world stage, or our how people view us? And all the stuff that I said was going to happen has happened. Okay. In other words, I said they would demonize Putin, and they started in with that. Well, that was proved wrong. They said, "Oh, well, he's bombing civilians, and he's striking the wrong targets, and this and that." Well, tough shit. He's not bombing civilians because he proved that by saying, "Hey, these pictures were taken before we even had airstrikes." So he caught him in a direct lie there. The neocons and the McCains and the BS in Washington and all those people, they're eating crow right now. They're eating crow, and they look real bad, and public opinion is starting to go boom. Yeah. 3 cheers for Putin, hip hip hooray. To quote Bruce Willis, yippee-ki-yo-ki-yay, motherfucker. Excuse my French, but hey, I was quoting Bruce Willis. So, the day after this started, guess what happened? Now, I'm sure you all know about the shooting in Oregon. Oh, man, is that just like blatant, in-your-face false flag? I think so. And then I'm reading a little bit about the guy. I don't want to detract my attention like they're trying to get us to do to the Oregon shooting. Okay, that's just another false flag, another controlled situation, or an ultra K mind controlled guy, or maybe not even a real guy. And they got all these pictures up of him. He was an IRA sympathizer, and he's in a suit, and this shit's getting old, isn't it? I mean, can't people see through this? Let's distract the media. Let's have something come out that will take all the attention away from the fact that we got pie all over our face. We got a shit pie all over our face. And Kerry's still out there thumping that drum about Russia could be hitting the wrong targets and what's their agenda. And basically what everybody realizes is that all the terrorists got to go. The freedom fighters, the Syrian freedom fighters, I'll get that out, are not nice guys. Okay, they're CIA trained black ops terrorists. Yeah, put a nice name on them, but those are the same guys that defected and created ISIS. Okay? And any of them that's left is just a token amount that's left there to make them look legit, okay? Do they think we're stupid? Do they really think we're that friggin' stupid? These Western media, right wing, left wing, I don't know what wing they are, both, they're all the same. And why isn't there a declaration? Really, there should be a declaration from Congress and everything else supporting this, and the UN saying, yeah, finally somebody's doing something. Putin's a genius, okay? And then we had the Normandy meetings today. The Normandy, what is it, 4 or 5 or whatever. Wonder what went down there, boy. Guess I got a little bit new respect for Putin now. But see, these vassals of Washington are going to continue until public opinion just goes, no, sorry, no way, and that's what's going to happen. Okay. They can continue supporting the West and continue supporting the lies and continue trying to make Putin look like a bad guy. How can you look like a bad guy when you're the friggin' hero of the planet? Killing off all the terrorist bad guys. That's like an old Western, because I watch old Westerns. That's like the sheriff killing off all the bad guys that were raping and looting and pillaging the town and then saying the sheriff's a bad guy for taking them out. Or he might have took out the couple of wrong guys when he was taking out the gang. You couldn't make this shit up. You just couldn't make this up. And I love watching this because we're privileged enough, okay? We've been suffering a long time here with the lies. And it's up to each individual, it's up to each one of you, okay, to spread this word. Because see, now there's an opening here, okay? So it's up to each one of you truth tellers out there, and people of spirit, and people even in the high frequency range, to support this. Yeah, it's war, okay? But there's yin and yang, good and bad, and there's yin within the yang and yang within the yin, and it's all an illusion anyway. So if we can see like a turning of the tide and a drawing away from the stagnation that we have been in for so long now, you need to, this is the time to take action and use this incident, these airstrikes on ISIL and the pulling of the covers of the West. It's up to everybody out there to see this exactly for what it is and to spread the word, okay? And to support. Now, I'm seeing a lot of support coming in on these alternative news things on YouTube with the comment section. I'm looking at the comment section, just trying to get a pulse here. And I'm not seeing too many trolls out right now. And they're getting leveled when they come out. They're looking stupid right now. They got guys on there, of course, that are going to come out, and they actually say just the opposite of what's really happening, okay? Black is white, white is black, okay? You got the trolls in there, the CIA, the government people spinning this black is white and white is black, just like Thunder always said. And they're trying to make Putin's white thing look black, okay? His white fight for justice, fight for freedom, fight for exposing the lies of the West, fight for exposing their agenda of hegemony and world domination, okay? And he's doing it in one fell swoop. And I was watching some of those aircraft. There's videos that I posted on the Campfire Council. If anybody wants to join the council, by the way, the links are below. And we're all watching this, and everybody in there is like, yeah. This is a good thing, okay, because it's breaking away the stagnation that has existed for so long. And the I Ching speaks of stagnation, and it speaks of looking at it like like a river breaking up the ice flows in the river and having them bust apart and flow down with the river. And that's exactly what's happening here. That's exactly what's happening. And so if people don't get that, well, you got to encourage them to get it. This is your chance to be a spiritual warrior. It took courage to do what Putin did. But he knew what he was doing, and he's always 3-4 chess moves ahead of the babbling idiots, the brain dead in Washington, the brain dead in America, half the people here, but they're waking up. Okay, people are starting to go, well, why are they complaining if Putin's fighting terrorism? See, so the whole terrorism thing is at stake here. The whole lie about terrorism is at stake here, okay? Because when 9/11 came down, which was an orchestrated false flag event that kicked off this whole anti-terrorism thing and allowed them to create terrorists in the Middle East, around the world, like I've talked about so many times, just like they created bad Indians that went on raids back in the Old West that were really white guys. That's the same thing that's happening here. They're creating a terrorist organization that's really CIA guys, hiring these disenfranchised Eastern people that want to get back at the West anyway. And if the CIA guy hands them some money and guns and weapons, and says go get them, they're creating a monster, and then that monster gets out of control, and they're saying, hey, this feels pretty good. Why should we care about the guys that gave us these guns? They're the enemy too, in a way. And so they just go off on this rampage, and it gets out of control, and that's what Putin's blowing apart right now. And he's also blowing apart the specific organizations that were put in there to attack Syria and take Assad out. Designed specifically for that purpose, CIA advisors in there for that purpose, gun runners from the U.S. in there for that purpose. What do you think Benghazi was about? That was the beginning of it. Or a further ramping up of it, because it probably began way before then. But that was the Benghazi incident was something that was blaringly obvious, because a U.S. ambassador got blown away with some Navy SEALs that tried to protect him. Not all spec ops people are bad, and those people that are CIA in there, if you're a spec ops person and you're working for the CIA, I've known a few Navy SEALs in my time. I've worked with them on a contract level of training. Okay, and they're pretty good guys. Okay, and they're not stupid, and they call the people in Washington pencil pushing geeks. Okay. Because they sacrifice a lot of people needlessly in strange operations. So, my point here being is that not everybody in that spec ops community is bad, and they know what's going on, and I'm just waiting for a revolt from them, too, frankly. Because there's already been teams in the SEAL teams that have been taken out because they knew too much. Okay, so they know what's going on. So what we have here, people, is something that we should be cheering about. That's just my opinion right now. Now, could it change, or could further facts down the road that are revealed change my opinion? Sure, but I kind of got a gut feeling that this is really, really worrisome for the West. Okay, really, really worrisome, and has embarrassed them to a great degree. And they got pie on their face, and they're eating crow. And I don't think they would plan for them to stand up and eat crow and look so bad. That's not part of the plan. Okay, it's not part of the plan for these neocons and war hawks and whoever to look bad. It's a little bit more than their egos could handle, and so they don't want to look bad, but they are. Bottom line is they are. They look bad. They look ridiculous. They look like basically buffoons and baboons. Go play with yourself, guys. Take a hike. Take a long walk off a short pier now. I think it's time. So, just wanted to give you an update, and I posted some things around the net, and I posted some things on Campfire Council. From a pilot's point of view, I'm looking at some of these aircraft. I'm just going, holy shit. This stuff is awesome. It's awesome. And they're coordinating their intel with Syrian intel. They're working with the Syrian army. They're working with, and by the way, Iran has got involved and is flooding in there with all kinds of ground troops. So Putin doesn't need to put in ground troops. Putin doesn't need to put in ground troops. It's needless because there's plenty of ground troops filtering in there now. You're going to see a lot of ground troops filtering in there from Iraq and Iran and Syria, and then you're going to have all the Russian advisors in there advising them all, and then you're going to have the precision strikes. I hope they just take out the whole organization of terrorists. I hope they clean the slate. Okay? And so, that can't be used as an excuse anymore for the subjugation and the loss of rights and the loss of our Constitution in the United States and the Patriot Act and all these bills and all these laws and all this police state mentality that's been instituted to quote unquote protect the U.S. citizenry. We knew that was a lie, but they're trying still, like with this thing in Oregon and they'll never give up because, like I said in my last video, when you got pie on your face and when you're stripped and the emperor has no clothes, they're the emperor and they have no clothes. They've been stripped. And their intentions and their agendas and their dark ops and their world domination and hegemony and their false hubris have been exposed. And make no mistake about it. And so we, as people on the internet and in the Campfire Council and everywhere, should be spreading this like wildfire. Take whatever news you can get that, like from Sputnik and reliable sources, the RT, sources that tell the truth, and Thunder here even. This video could be spread around because what I do is I encapsulate and explain at the same time. I give current news and then I give a take on it. Yes, it's my spin, but it's a lot of people's spin. It's anybody's spin that has two functioning brain cells that they can rub together. So, isn't it time, people, to use this as an opportunity like we did in the 60s to march in the streets? Well, you don't have to march in the streets. The internet's still up, and you can still post things, so you should share this video big time. And you should share any video that speaks truth or that is showing what's going on over there, because this is an opening. It's an opening. You have an opening here to show that the emperor has no clothes. Are you going to seize on that? Are you going to seize on the opening here, or are you just going to like a video or say, yeah, I like this, man? And no, put your butt on the line, get out there, spread the word like wildfire. Put little bylines like America has been exposed and the truth finally emerges, and you use your own imagination. You know, a taste of freedom, a return to morals, a return to logical, lucid thinking, a return to truth instead of lies. I could go on and on and on about what you could put as a little byline up there on your posts. And then just spread them around to as many as your circles as you got. I got tons of circles, and I got the public on the Google thing, and I got different groups. I've got my blogging channels. I've got Twitter. There's just any number of things you can do to spread this around. And so I'm going to come up with a good name for this video and spread that around. About what's going on and what's going down here. This is an opportunity. Don't let it pass you by. Because if you don't take this opportunity now, they're going to try to get a groundswell. They'll do a false flag. They'll try to make Putin look bad. So I guarantee you that they're going to do something. Let me just make a prediction right now, so in a later video I can go, see, Thunder said that. Let me make a prediction right now that it kicked off with this Oregon shooting to distract people, and then there's going to be, they're going to create an incident that's going to try to make Russia look bad. Now, it could happen in the Ukraine. Okay, it could be something in Ukraine that they trump up on because if they did it on this Syrian thing, it's being too closely watched. So what they could do, looking at it from a strategical point of view, and a warrior point of view, and their dark point of view, they'll trump up something in Ukraine, have something blow up there, or have a bunch of innocent people killed, or say there's an incursion by Russia, and then they'll try to link the two together, and they'll try to say the Crimean thing is like the Syrian thing, and I mean, they're going to do all kinds of shit. Get ready. And it's not going to be too long from now, because their time constraint, their timetable for their agenda has been severely altered. Severely altered. And so they're doing, like I said in previous videos, they can cover up stuff unless it happens right away. And then it takes them a little bit of time to cover up stuff and trump up stories. And develop scenarios and develop shootings and develop false flags and develop this and develop that, and they're good at that. They're good at it. So don't give them time to regroup and be good at it and distract everybody's attention. To hell with that Oregon shooting. 10 people you're talking about, and you got 200,000 people that have been killed in Syria in the last, 5 years? So we're going to look at a shooting in America with 10 people from a guy that was probably controlled by the CIA anyway? Who cares? Who cares? And it's just another gun control agenda, the distraction thing. And if you can't see that, then I don't know. Your brain cells are gone. They're dead. They've been manipulated. They've been controlled by the microwaves coming out of your friggin' cell phone or something. And that ain't far-fetched, trust me. So let's keep our eye on this, and let's not get fearful about sounding like we're warlike or something. I know Thunder sounds like he's on a bandwagon, and it's like I got sucked into the mainstream, not the mainstream, but the illusion of life or whatever. Well, here it is. What can I say? I go by gut feelings, and I just got a gut feeling that when you see things, when you've talked about things for years, and you've seen that when you follow this and when you dig for truth, and when you keep a close eye on things with what the government and their hacks and their prostitutes and their whoring little bitches in the form of proxy organizations do, then you're glad to see them bye-bye. You're glad to see them go. Will it solve the whole world's problem? Well, no, but Crazy Horse fought, even though the ultimate genocidal solution was kind of reached. He had enough pride and courage to fight and to go with what he thought was the right way. And you can only go by what you see and hear, and because there was even some confusion back then, a little falling out between Red Cloud and Tasunke Wheatgo and Sitting Bull, because Red Cloud got sucked into signing some treaties and stuff. So nothing's ever perfect. Nothing's ever perfect, and Putin's excursion here may not be perfect, and it may not fit everybody's ideal of, but I don't see how it could, on the face of it, not fit everybody's ideal after they've been tortured with green, yellow, blue, purple terror alerts, and saying that ISIS, how many times have they said ISIS is going to come over here and get Americans? How many times have they said that? You have to beware because ISIS is infiltrating into the United States. And so here's Putin going, well, we'll just take care of that for you. We'll just take care of these people before they infiltrate into the United States. We'll take them all out. We'll break up their organization. We'll bomb them back into the dark ages. And believe me, it's not just bombs. They got a lot of stuff going on here. They'll trail those guys. They'll track them. They'll put hit squads on them. They're out to take them out. And so, again, give it support. It's dicey, I know. I mean, you know, again, anything could happen, like I said in my last video, and it could be made to happen by the West. If they completely lose face, if they completely find themselves backpedaling, if they completely fall on their ass, which is what it looks like they're doing, they could lose it and push a button. And I think Putin knows that. I think he knows that they could lose it and push the red button, the nuke button, the limited nuke button. So be ready for anything. I think that he had to take into account every, you know, he's a master chess player and he's a judo artist and, you know, he's into the martial arts. I think that he, as an ex-KGB, I think that he probably took into, he's 6 moves ahead of him. And he's already factored in the what if they lose it move. He had to. He's not stupid. So anyway, I guess I'll leave it there today. This video is getting kind of long and fiery and excitable. But keep the faith, people, and use this opportunity to, I would just say, that's my advice to you, is when you see an opportunity arise to speak up for truth and speak up for something that you feel is good, like I'm doing right now, take a risk. I mean, even if the situation changes and I got pie on my face, but I don't see how that's going to happen. Do you? I'm speaking up for this right now, but I'm speaking up on a gut feeling and what I'm seeing going down, and those are 2 real good things, having that gut feeling and that intuitive feeling. The way you got to look at it, and this is the bottom line, is that events are events, and some events break up stagnation. Some events break up stagnation, and this is definitely one of those kind of events, and it could be a black swan event too. In other words, something that was an unintended expectation of the West arises in the middle of their already asshole and elbow groping around trying to figure out how they're going to fix the financial thing. I would say they have a lot on their plate now. I'd say they have a lot on their plate. And the more they have on their plate that is unexpected, the more they're going to screw up. And the more that's going to be revealed. Anyway, I'll leave it there today. This is Thunder in the Spirit of Crazy Horse. Keeping us informed. And we'll see how it plays out. Anyway, this is Thunder. Appreciate all the prayers and help and good thoughts that I've been getting on behalf of my corporate battle with the powers to be and the landlord thing. And that's kind of, I talked to a lawyer today, just for you people that are interested. I did see an attorney today. And it made me feel a lot better because I was given instruction on how to, not that I didn't know this already, but it verified things that I needed to know and gave me a little bit more ammunition and a little bit more feeling of security, although I never assume anything. I never assume anything, or I never think everything's okay. Now, no, I don't do that, but there's degrees, okay, of reassurance, let's say. All right, I'll leave it there today. Thanks for those who have donated in other ways, and you know who you are, to the perpetuation of thunder on the internet, right? Later on, people, over and out.